Hey everybody, Jason here. Today we're going to be doing an overview of the landlord software application, an accounting application called Rental Hero or myrentalhero.io, I believe it is. Yep, .io. Okay, so a couple things here I want to talk about, and then we'll jump on and take a look at the actual software and give you a quick walkthrough on that. So this program, what this program is that it's an accounting software designed for landlords, and it's a light version of accounting software. It is for landlords who want to track their income and expenses and be able to produce profit and loss reports for tax purposes and for tracking performance. But at the same time is not so overly complicated. It takes a long time to learn, and it's not a confusing software for what it is. I actually really like this. I've kind of run this through pretty good with some of my own transactions, and again, it has a very specific purpose. But as long as you understand that going in, it's not that big of a deal. This is a very user-friendly, and again, like I said, just powerful enough to make it effective and worth having, but not so much so that it gets confusing and overcomplicated and that you need a little bit of a background in property management or accounting or bookkeeping to understand how things move through the system. So having said that, what this program is not is it is not a robust property management software or an accounting software. It's not going to maintain a tenant ledger. You're not going to be able to do charges and take payments and reflect that and print out a ledger and track tenants and have their information all stored in there like that. It's not going to accept online rental payments. You can't accept payments through this software. It's not going to allow you to market those rental properties and syndicate those out. It doesn't have website options. It's not going to have your tenant screening options built in. It doesn't offer any of those packages. You're not going to be able to pay your bills out of this software like you can with a QuickBooks or a Buildium, a Rent Tech Direct, or even that add-on for Turbo Tenant and Rent Ready. There's that accounting add-on where you can do some of that stuff as well. This isn't going to have any of those options. It's also not going to have a really robust suite of reporting. So no balance sheets, no tenant delinquencies, no payables, no receivables reports, anything along those lines, no rent roll. I'm not sure if I said that, but that's okay because that's not what this is for. And as long as you understand that, that's great. This is for a software for landlords who want something more than an Excel spreadsheet. And it's more powerful than that. And, especially if you use the bank syncing options, which we'll take a look at, it works really well. It makes things a lot easier. Okay, so let's go on and jump in and take a look at the program itself. Okay, so here we are, My Rental Hero or rentalhero.io. This is when you sign in, this is the kind of the main screen it pops in on. And as you can see here, it is separated with tabs up here at the top, which kind of takes you through the flow of everything. And the first thing we're going to be looking at is the rentals. Now, this is where you're going to set up your properties, your units, and your tenants, and some of the basic information there. So we'll start out here with a new rental, and this is where we kind of go in. Now, it has a couple different options here. You can set up a single unit property. You can set up a multi-unit property. And this unit of a multi-unit property is really if you need to add another unit onto an existing multi-unit property, at least the best I can tell. That's what this option is here for. So let's just take a quick look here. And again, it's a very simple setup, not a short term. Let's just throw in property here so you can see how quick this happens. It does have some options here, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Purchase date, purchase price, out-of-pocket costs, if that stuff's of interest of you. Let's go on and put the rent in here first. All right, now you have the option to add tenants here as well. We'll get that in a minute. But as you can see, it kind of comes up with a basic listing here for your property. From here, you can add tenants. Again, it's real simple. It's tenant name, email, cell, and when does a lease end. And that's it. You can add multiple tenants if you would like, but keep in mind, this isn't for tracking tenants. This isn't for tracking their tenant ledger, any of that stuff. It does have some nice reminder functions built in on this, which I'll show you here in a moment, which I do like. But again, not robust on the tenant tracking stuff. That's not its purpose. Okay, so let's jump back out here. I think I have this property set up. So I added in this purchase date, price, out of pocket. Well, I didn't. Let's just do this on this one, and it ties in up here, and what it attempts to do is get you a return on investment calculation based on what your purchase price was, estimated value, and so on. This financials tab also shows the snapshot of year over year numbers. So if I were to have financial information in here, it would show all of that for you. Reminders, I do like this. You can set up reminders to either yourself or to the tenant on whatever recurring schedule that you would like. And you can send that to them, email, text message. So some of the ideas for reminders, of course, is, hey, on the 28th, send one on the 28th saying, hey, rent's due in a few days, just a friendly reminder. If you do quarterly inspections, send a quarterly inspection reminder to yourself. If you want to be reminded when insurance expires, renter's insurance expires, put a reminder in there, have it sent to yourself. So there's all kinds of things that you can do on here. And, so I think that's a really cool little feature there, especially since you can text them as well, because I'm not always so good with email, so text would be a big help. Notes, if you have issues going on, of course, this tracks everything in terms of setup and everything else, but if you have an issue, let's just say you went to home and tenant damaged, you issued a 10-day on 11/2, whatever your notes are, you can log that and you can tag this. So if you create a tag that says tenant damages, especially if it's a normal deal, as you start to accumulate issues in here, if you ever have to go to court to evict, you can actually print these lists out and it'll show all the instances of damages or all the issues of harassment or whatever else. Just document. That's what we do as landlords, is document. So make sure to, this is a good place to do that at. Okay, and then documents, of course, if you want to upload lease documents or whatever else for a particular unit or tenant, here you go. If you need warranty information on appliances for that unit, you can upload it here. So it's, again, just a centralized place to store everything. So again, very helpful, very handy. But that is really, we do have some settings here, but these are on lease ending soon. So lease renewal alerts, which basically says 60 days for lease renewal, you'll get an alert. Just kind of, again, a reminder set in place. That's pretty much the extent of the properties, units, and tenants function. Beyond that, there is nothing else in terms of tenant ledger and accepting online payments. It does none of that, but that's okay. This is enough for this program. Next, expenses tab. Now this is what's going to display the expenses. Now the expenses are going to be shown. This is a truly just cash, not accrual, and a cash type operation. So you cut a check, you come in here and you record the expense. That's how this works. These expenses are money out of the bank. So again, no charges, no bills received, any of that. When you pay the bill, that's when it should be listed in here. Again, this has the original categories are not set up like this. So this is my deal. Okay, I just jumped over here real quick just to give you an idea. The original categories are some overall categories: advertising, maintenance, repairs, mortgage interest, things along those lines. I would recommend myself, or I do myself probably more than anything, because I need to see them in a certain way for my brain to like it. But you can go in here and edit and manipulate these chart of accounts here. And that's what you were seeing on the other. We'll jump back over to that display here in a moment. But I wanted you to see at the very least what these normal chart of accounts look like. Okay, back to where we were. So this is a listing of all the expenses based on the way that I did the chart of accounts. I've created the main categories, and then I've created subcategories as well. So again, my structure, but created a category and then put subcategories, and all my expenses go into subcategories. The reason I do that personally is that I like to see what the total cost is for the categories, and this is usually what the tax accountants are looking at too, are these major categories. But then when I want to see the breakdown of it, I can drop down here and see what it was for. If it's still not enough, I can drill in and see the vendor, which is extremely nice. I love that drilling capacity there, capability. Mortgage, tax, insurance, I can say, well, that's 79% of my overall expenses. What's going on there? And I can drill in and see, oh, that's all my mortgage payable. And I put all of my mortgage payments under mortgage payable and cut those out at the end of the year and back that expense back out and classify them correctly. It's just the way I prefer to do it myself. But that's kind of the breakdown here and the new expense. They do have different ways of looking at this. You can look at different time frames. You can look at different views. Monthly view is one I like to look at, simply because I like to see trends. I like to make sure, like here, I was only able to download so many transactions on this free trial, but looking at this, the first thing that popped in my head is, oh, I got one payment, but I'm missing two more here. Where are my HOAs? I know that's HOA, I think. Yeah, where are my HOA fees? Did I miss something? What happened? So I do like that view as well. And then you can select all rentals. You can do an individual building. You can go all the way down to the individual unit as well. If you need to see how our unit is performing, or if there's a lot of issues there expense-wise, you need to track that down. You can drill in that way too, which is nice. You can import your bank listings here. You just set it up with a bank link. Once that happens, then it downloads for you automatically daily. So you just go in, and what's nice, because then you can just classify your expenses based off the bank feed. So if you're using a dedicated account, which I always recommend, highly recommend that. Recurring charges, I like this because, again, if you know your mortgage payment is going to be a certain amount every single month, or your HO fee every quarter, you can set this up to where monthly, quarterly, yearly, twice a year, whatever it is. And that way you don't have to enter those transactions every month. They just happen automatically. So as long as it's, like automatic debits or coming out of your account or whatever, and you don't want to miss that, then you can do that. There's also a way to set up the mortgages here. You can set up a mortgage and, calculate all this out, and, it'll theoretically give you your breakdown that will automatically post to your account, and then you can adjust income or interest and principal payment and any escrow type of accounts that go out of there as well. For me, again, I like to just plug it all in one account. It's easier. At the end of the year, I adjust the taxes, interest, and insurance out into their own categories and pull principal off into where it needs to be, and then that's that lazy man's route, I guess. Okay, so more tabs. These are just different settings for this. I do like, you can change the way that you see the different categories here. So like if you had the plus, if you want to add a transaction directly right out of here, you can do that. So there's some cool settings in there. You can add your categories, which is just your chart of accounts. Search function, you can put your notes that you're looking for and what it kind of classifies to. Like notes would be cool here. So if you're looking for all your notes on tenant damages at a particular property, you can maybe type damages in, and then anything that references damages would pull up, and you could print that out. That may be helpful during an eviction. You can export your expenses. You can download receipts. So every expense that you put in, you can actually attach a receipt to it. Oh, that's a new category. Let's just do, there it is. You can add a receipt, add a check number. You can split it. And then if you classify something incorrectly, you can actually go in here, drill into it, and then change the category as well. But on the settings, you can download those receipts, which is nice if you need them. Now in the profit and loss, there's a cool report that has those all included as an option as well. Any of the auto categorization rules. So when you use the banking sync on there to download your transactions. If it's the same transaction over and over and over again, you can set up a rule that basically says anything for this vendor in this amount gets classified to mortgage payable or wherever you want it to go. This is where you'd go to check out where those rules are and get rid of them if you don't want them, or add new ones too if you want. Discarded bank transactions. This is if there's a transaction that maybe you shouldn't be commingling, but if you're using an account that commingles expenses and that expense doesn't belong, then you can just discard it. And then if you ever need to see those, this is where you would go to find those discarded. Income. Same setup as the expenses. This is where you record income coming in from rent payments or anything else. And of course, I have my ledgers broken out in more detail than what it comes with. With the standard, I think, just has rent income, but I went in and added this, put all this in here the way I like to see it. But still, same thing, has classifications. You can see what the overall is. If you take security deposits, if you need sales tax payable, you can set that up to where it's not included in your profit and loss. They don't necessarily have equity accounts in here or asset and liability accounts like a regular chart of accounts, but you can keep it off of the profit and loss and track it at least. So at the very least, I know that right now I owe sales tax. I collected 193.08, and at some point I'm gonna have to pay that out to the government, so I can see how much I have. And at the same time, when I make that transaction, you can zero this out as well to show that, so you can show and reflect that you no longer owe that. Same thing on the new bank linking. It's just another link. I mean, you don't have to do this again if you've done the expense. This is just a quick link to link your bank account. Recurring, some examples of recurring income possibly would be Section 8 housing authority payments. You're getting $200 every month, for the next 12 months, and they send it ACH or direct deposit. You could set that up here, maybe something like that. And then of course, back into your settings. How do you want to see the report? Print, save the report, search, export, download, same things. Edit categories always get you back to your chart of accounts. And then you have your same views over here on how you want to see everything. Profit and loss. Okay, so this is basically the income minus the expenses leading to your profit. So for this particular example here, it's just showing all the activity I have in there. My income's over here, has a total, and then what that consists of. All my expenses, and if I wanted to drop down and dig in, that's fine too. This only shows categories that have expenses listed on them, so it doesn't show any of the zero amounts, and that's fine. And then your total income minus your expenses ends up being your total profit. And then if you have any equity accounts like owner equity here, this was an owner draw that I pulled out, at least according to this example, and then that's reflected. And then also my sales tax payable, which you saw before. Let's see here. What I do like about this report is that you can, of course, include a detailed list of your transactions, but you can include a copy of all your receipts. So come tax time, you can go in here and either select for the individual property or select all the properties. But typically taxes, I don't know, my package is one for each property, and then I do one for everything. That way, if the accountant needs to reference and tie stuff out, he has everything that they need, or he or she has everything they need. But for our case, let's just take a look at this. I don't have any receipts loaded to those, but it will print those. But the little report here is very nice. It's very clean. It has kind of the overview profit and loss report. And then it gets into the individual category breakdowns. And of course, you can change the date ranges and everything else. Your information will be up here, which gets loaded at the beginning, or you can change that in the account settings. But again, very clean report. So if it's collecting receipts and categories on an Excel and then letting your tax accountant sort through that, or printing a report that has all the receipts as backup on here for every property, this is going to be a lot quicker, a lot easier, and it gives you actual good information as well in terms of using this system to be able to see trends and make decisions and be red flagged on expenses that are maybe too high in certain areas. So definitely like that. Finally, we have this little cash flow report here. And again, it's just a cash flow report. It's just money in, money out, and then what's your cash flow. And then there's not a lot of options on here because again, it's a pretty straightforward report. You can print it, export it. You can sort it by the way that you want to see it and the properties you want to see. So not much to the cash flow side of things. It just is what it is. Let's see here. We do have help function, little tab there for questions and submissions and support. The account, you can set up your billing and subscriptions. The referral programs, they have a referral program here. If you're on this and you refer somebody, that person will get $10 and then you get $10 credit applied to your account as well. Your profiles where you update all your personal information. Screen layout and colors. They do have this set up to where you can change the structure of this a little bit. This is the horizontal. Some people prefer this layout. This is what a lot of softwares are set up as, which is fine. I actually normally like it like this, but on this particular program, for whatever reasons, I kind of like that, the vertical layout. I think it's just to the point and simple and easy. You can also change your colors around. You can kind of see what that looks like. So if you're into this fuchsia purple type color, you come in here and there you go. It's all customized for you. Okay, so kind of as we wrap up here, the pricing on this is very affordable. It's $129 a year. They only have the annual plan, but it comes out to like $10.75 a month. That's unlimited properties, tenants, units, bank accounts, document storage, everything is unlimited. So it's actually a really good price in terms of software costs. I mean, and if you're only using this for what it's good at doing, you can go a long ways. I can see a lot of properties being loaded into this. Again, if you are looking at the accounting functions of them. It does come with a free mobile app, which lets you record expenses, take pictures of the receipts, and have those posted and loaded. So you can check that out as well. It does have a 30-day free trial, and that's very helpful because that's more than enough time to get to know the program, to get everything set up, to tinker around with it and see if it's something that's going to work for you long term before you actually put any money out of pocket. And like I said, they do have that referral code. I don't personally use this program because I use a little more robust system that has all of this stuff and the tenant management, everything else in there. I mean, that's my preference on what I need. But if you use it, they do have that referral code. You can use referral code 13335, and that's going to get you an extra $10 off or so. It'll give me $10 on my account as well, but I mean, it's a credit to the account and I don't use it. So it's not really a benefit. I'm just throwing that out there. That's just a few extra bucks off yours if you decide you end up wanting to use it. A couple other things, if you are interested in trying this out, but you need help setting up, check out the link in this in the post below, in the comments below. Put together a quick little program to walk you through on completely how to set this up, step by step. It'll teach you how to use a system and get you up to speed very quickly. And on top of that, I throw in a free support session as well. So if you have any questions, if you have any problems, if you need help setting anything up, we'll get on the phone and we'll get that worked out and get you all set up and get you up and running on this software. So once again, myrentalhero.io, cool little program. I highly recommend check it out if you're looking for something to upgrade from your Excel spreadsheet. Again, I think it's very powerful for what it does, and just make sure that you're not trying to use this in ways that it's not supposed to be used, or it doesn't make any sense. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. And again, this is Jason, so we will see you next time.